Hijo de Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, vio cumplirse una de las peores pesadillas de cualquier presunto narcotraficante. Fue extraditado a los Estados Unidos, como lo confirmó el fiscal general de ese país, Merrick Garland.
We reveal how El Chapo's son is treated in prison. Is it true that he is mistreated? How does he cope with life in one of the strictest prisons in the United States? Don't miss this exclusive. Before we start, hit the like button and subscribe. It's free. Now let's begin. Ovidio Guzmán appears in a Chicago court on drug trafficking charges. More time requested to review evidence. Ovidio Guzmán Lopez, son of Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, has been detained at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago since his extradition in September 2023. This Monday morning, he appeared before the Northern District of Illinois Court in Chicago in a crucial hearing for the criminal case against him. The charges he faces include drug trafficking and money laundering, crimes committed under the Sinaloa cartel faction known as Los Chapitos. The hearing took place in courtroom 1241 of the Everett McKinley Dirksen Courthouse, presided over by Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman. The purpose of the session was to review the charges against Ovidio and consider the defense's request for more time to analyze the evidence. Federal prosecutors presented evidence accusing Ovidio of conspiring to distribute large quantities of cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and methamphetamine from Mexico to the United States between 2008 and 2021. These illicit activities were carried out under the protection of Los Chapitos, a faction of the Sinaloa cartel led by the sons of El Chapo Guzmán. This case is highly significant, not only because of the Guzmán family's prominence in the world of drug trafficking, but also due to the impact of their activities on the opioid crisis in the United States. Efforts to bring high-ranking members of the Sinaloa cartel to justice are a key component of the fight against international drug trafficking. During the hearing, Ovidio Guzmán's defense requested more time to review and analyze the evidence presented by the prosecutors. The complexity of the case, which spans more than a decade of criminal activities, requires a thorough review of documents, testimonies, and other evidence. Judge Coleman considered the request, emphasizing the need for a fair and balanced trial. The court scheduled a new date to continue the process, allowing both parties to adequately prepare their arguments. Meanwhile, Ovidio Guzmán will remain detained at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago. During the hearing, Ovidio Guzmán's defense, led by renowned attorney Jeffrey Lichtman, expressed the need for more time to review and analyze the evidence presented by the prosecutors. This request, reported by the National Desk, reflects the complexity and scope of the case. In response to this petition, Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman decided to schedule a new hearing for October 1st, allowing the defense to adequately prepare their legal strategy. Ovidio Guzmán Lopez, the son of Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, faces serious accusations spanning more than a decade of alleged criminal activities under the protection of the Sinaloa cartel. Since his extradition in September 2023, Guzmán has been detained at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago, awaiting the development of his judicial process. In the Northern District of Illinois, Ovidio Guzmán faces 5 main charges. He is accused of possessing large quantities of illegal substances with the intent to distribute them, which is considered a serious offense under U.S. law. Conspiracy to import, manufacture, and distribute controlled substances. This charge implies that Guzmán and other conspirators planned and executed operations to bring, produce, and distribute drugs such as cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and methamphetamine from Mexico to the United States. Conspiracy to commit money laundering. He is accused of participating in activities to conceal the illicit origin of profits generated from drug sales, using various financial mechanisms to launder the money. Engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise. This charge relates to his alleged active and sustained involvement in the Sinaloa cartel's criminal organization, one of the most powerful and dangerous drug trafficking entities worldwide. Firearms possession. He is accused of possessing firearms during the commission of drug trafficking offenses, which increases the possible penalties. Ovidio Guzmán's case is significant not only due to the notoriety of his father, El Chapo Guzmán, but also because of its implications for the fight against drug trafficking and organized crime. U.S. authorities have emphasized the importance of this case in dismantling the operations of Los Chapitos, an emerging faction of the Sinaloa cartel that has continued the cartel's criminal activities. The new date set for October 1st will be crucial in determining how the case progresses. During this time, both the defense and the prosecution will have the opportunity to strengthen their respective cases. For Guzmán's defense, led by Jeffrey Lichtman, the goal will be to challenge the validity and source of the evidence presented, as well as to seek out any potential irregularities in the investigation and indictment process. On September 18, 2023, El Raton appeared in his first criminal hearing, where he pleaded not guilty to the 5 charges against him. This raised questions about whether El Chapo's son would choose to face trial or cooperate with U.S. authorities. Ovidio also faces 6 other charges in the Southern District of New York: participation in a continuing criminal organization, conspiracy to import fentanyl, conspiracy to distribute fentanyl, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, conspiracy to possess machine guns, and conspiracy to launder money. Ovidio is currently being held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Chicago under inmate number 72,884-748. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe for more similar content and give us a like to support us. He was transferred to this maximum security prison on September 15, 2023, after being extradited to the United States for his involvement in fentanyl trafficking. Ovidio Guzmán has been captured twice in Mexico, with each arrest generating significant national and international attention. The first capture took place on October 17, 2019, in Culiacán, Sinaloa. On this occasion, Mexican authorities managed to detain Ovidio, but the reaction from Los Chapitos, a faction of the Sinaloa cartel led by El Chapo's sons, was immediate and violent. Los Chapitos unleashed a wave of violence in the city, including shootings, blockades, and vehicle burnings. The scale of the unrest led President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, to make the controversial decision to release Ovidio to prevent further harm and loss of life. This event became known in collective memory as El Culiacanazo. Ovidio's second capture occurred on January 5, 2023, again in Culiacán. This time, Mexican security forces were better prepared and anticipated a possible violent reaction from Los Chapitos. Despite attempts by the cartel's hitmen to replicate the 2019 chaos, the Mexican army managed to secure El Raton and transfer him to the maximum security prison El Altiplano, located in the state of Mexico. This operation demonstrated the authorities' capability and determination to confront criminal organizations. In addition to Ovidio, other prominent members of Los Chapitos are also wanted by U.S. authorities. Iván Arquivaldo, Jesus Alfredo, and Joaquín Guzmán, Ovidio's half-brothers and brother, are implicated in fentanyl trafficking and other drug-related crimes. The United States Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, has offered significant rewards for information leading to their capture. Up to $10 million is offered for Iván Arquivaldo and Jesus Alfredo each, while up to $5 million is offered for Joaquín Guzmán. These rewards reflect the severity of the charges against them and the interest of U.S. authorities in dismantling the criminal network they lead. The son of the infamous drug lord El Chapo Guzmán, Ovidio, known as El Raton, is currently in a federal prison in Chicago, after being extradited to the United States and convicted of several drug trafficking and money laundering offenses. In this video, we will explore what his life is like behind bars at ADX Florence, one of the most secure prisons in the world, and the strict conditions of isolation and security he faces. ADX Florence, known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies, houses some of the most dangerous criminals, including terrorists and gang leaders, and is famous for its rigorous isolation regime and maximum custody. Inmates at ADX Florence spend most of the day in concrete cells with only the essentials. They have no contact with other prisoners for at least the first 3 years, meaning they spend 23 hours a day in isolation with minimal human interaction. Meals are delivered through a slot in the steel door of their cells, and outdoor time is very limited, conducted in a concrete pit that prevents them from knowing their exact location. Recreational activities are scarce and access to them is restricted. The daily routine is highly structured to maintain order and security. Officials constantly supervise the inmates, ensuring compliance with the rules and quickly correcting any violations. ADX Florence is located in a remote area, adding an extra layer of security. This prison, known for its strict isolation and surveillance measures, is considered one of the most secure in the world, designed to ensure the confinement of the most dangerous inmates. Ovidio Guzmán Lopez, son of the famous drug trafficker Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, has garnered worldwide attention due to his notorious past. Born on March 29, 1990, he grew up in the environment of the Sinaloa cartel, surrounded by luxury, power, and violence. After his father's capture and imprisonment in 2014, Ovidio took on a crucial role within the cartel, earning respect and loyalty through his charisma and intelligence. He supervised illegal activities such as money laundering and arms trafficking. In 2019, his notoriety increased when a failed capture attempt in Culiacán unleashed a wave of violence, underscoring the influence of the cartel. After the incident in Culiacán, Ovidio Guzmán became a symbol of defiance against the authorities, attracting international attention and becoming one of the most wanted men. This event also heightened the pressure on him and the Sinaloa cartel, leading to intense government efforts to dismantle the organization, with several arrests and significant seizures. Despite the challenges, Ovidio maintained his influence within the cartel, leading the expansion and diversification of its operations. Involved in the cartel since the early 2000s alongside his brothers, Ovidio quickly became a key figure, earning the nickname El Raton for his cunning and cruelty. His growing power attracted the attention of U.S. authorities, who worked tirelessly to gather evidence against him. The charges included drug trafficking, money laundering, and firearms offenses. Ultimately, in a joint effort, U.S. and Mexican security forces succeeded in his arrest in 2023, preparing for his extradition to the United States. The arrest of Ovidio Guzmán Lopez, son of Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, shocked the criminal world and marked the beginning of the end of his reign of terror. This event severely affected the Sinaloa cartel, creating uncertainty and delivering a significant blow to its operations. Ovidio faced multiple charges, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and firearms offenses, with allegations of illicit activities from 2008 to 2021. The prosecution presented detailed evidence of his involvement in drug trafficking and other criminal activities. In 2019, a failed attempt to capture Ovidio in Culiacán triggered a violent confrontation between the cartel and Mexican armed forces, demonstrating the cartel's power and influence. This incident highlighted the tensions between the Mexican government and drug cartels. Ovidio was finally captured in Mexico in early 2023 and faced trial in Chicago, where he pleaded not guilty. However, he was found guilty of several charges, including participating in a continuing criminal enterprise, drug trafficking, and firearms offenses. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years and ordered to pay $12.6 billion in forfeiture. The trial of Ovidio became a symbol of the fight against drug trafficking and organized crime, with significant implications for the future of the Sinaloa cartel and the Guzmán family. During the battle in Culiacán, the Mexican armed forces, overwhelmed by the firepower of the Sinaloa cartel, decided to release Ovidio Guzmán Lopez to protect civilians and contain the violence. This decision, surprising both nationally and internationally, highlighted the power of the cartel and raised doubts about the effectiveness of the government's fight against drugs. The conflict revealed the weaknesses of the government in its battle against the cartels and underscored the need for a comprehensive strategy that addresses the root causes of drug trafficking. After the capture and extradition of El Chapo, his sons, known as Los Chapitos, along with other leaders, took control of the Sinaloa cartel, continuing their activities in drug trafficking and maintaining their influence. Following El Chapo's capture, his sons, known as Los Chapitos, assumed leadership of the Sinaloa cartel. Together with Ismael El Mayo Zambada and Damaso Lopez Núñez, they consolidated their control through violence and intimidation, eliminating rivals and expanding the cartel's operations, particularly in fentanyl trafficking. Using a transportation network that includes planes, submarines, and tunnels, Los Chapitos flooded the United States with drugs, evading law enforcement. Despite authorities' efforts to dismantle their operations through charges of fentanyl trafficking, money laundering, and weapons offenses, the cartel has maintained its power. The fentanyl epidemic, largely driven by the cartel, has devastated communities in the United States. The fight against drug trafficking requires ongoing collaboration between law enforcement and the community to address this crisis and protect society. If you've made it this far and enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to receive updates on future videos on YouTube. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments.